Hey everyone, this is June from Turning Point Life Investment. So I got a request from one of our viewers to do a stock analysis on Broadcom, symbol BRCM. So, you know what? I'm going to do it. That's just how I roll. All right, let's take a look at Broadcom. Now, Broadcom isn't exactly a stock that I follow on a daily basis. Now, since since it's a stock that I don't normally follow, what I like to do is take a look at this stock from multiple time frames, especially from a longer term time frame, and then zoom it down into a shorter term time frame. I usually like to start with a 10-year monthly view. Looking at Broadcom right now, you can see really not a whole lot is going on with Broadcom. A whole lot of sideways action. You can see how the moving averages are pretty much flat, indicating that there's really no trend. You can even just tell from the price action that there's really no trend going on, long-term trend that is, with Broadcom. A lot different from what happened back here where the stock was making lower lows and lower highs and the moving averages were separating. But now there's really not a whole lot of buying or selling going on, and the moving averages are flat, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, next, zooming in a bit, this is what I call my top-down approach. You would see the next initial or the next resistance for Broadcom is right around $30. As I mentioned, round numbers act as perfect, or not perfect, but very well great support and resistance because they're nice and easy for traders to remember. Now, on a shorter term basis, you can see we are trending a series of higher highs, higher lows. Okay, so even though on a long-term outlook, the stock isn't trending itself, but if you break it down to different time frames, you can see minor trends or minute trends. Those are tradable if you like to trade on a smaller scale time frame. Overall, on a weekly view, if Broadcom can find some kind of support, some kind of bid coming in from buyers and make a push, we might get another push up towards $30. Now, if you're holding on to stock, let's say you happen to catch the bottom, I would say $30 is a pretty good time to take some profit, especially since we got a pretty strong resistance right here. Okay, next we go into a 6-month daily view. Now, today we ended on a rather bearish candlestick, especially breaking this 50-day moving average. Not looking too well on a short-term time frame for Broadcom. We are pretty much right at that previous support. If we see any more break from Broadcom, it's kind of like if you've fallen down the floor onto the next level. Well, the next level will be 22-ish, and give or take a few cents. If that continued to break, we would see somewhere around 20. So you got multiple support levels underneath for Broadcom. However, if it breaks underneath this level, then I would be a little more bearish on Broadcom if that happens to be the case. Overall, the stock is starting to make lower lows and lower highs, which is by definition a downtrend. So if I were to buy the stock, I would wait for some kind of bid, like I said, maybe a pullback towards 22, see how that holds. But you got to make sure that it holds before jumping in. And if buyers start stepping in somewhere around this level, then sure, I can start nibbling. I would start nibbling at Broadcom and maybe shoot for $30 if that were to ever happen. But any break underneath 20 would make me think otherwise. So hope that helps. If you have any other requests, just send me an email or leave a comment on my YouTube channel.